Well, Bitcoin's sitting at 62,000. The Senate's back in session today, and CPI comes out tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Oil just ripped 9% in a single day, and the smart money data tonight is the most bearish it's been in a week. This is the most important 24 hours of this cycle, and I'm going to be watching every single minute of it. Both roads are absolutely real right now, and tonight I'm going to show you the map for both of them with every level written down so you know exactly where to look and when that number drops tomorrow. I'm Chris Hare, the world champion crypto cowboy. We've got an awful lot to talk about from beginning to end, so stick around to the end of the video. There's a lot of information to unpack. And here's where we stand today in Iran. The U.S. launched another wave of strikes Sunday, fighter aircraft, naval vessels, and for the first time, one-way attack sea drones. Iran retaliated, hitting 5 countries, and Trump announced a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Oil ripped 9% on the escalation. I've been telling you for 2 weeks that oil was maximally oversold with sell exhaustion confirmed and escalation was coming. The chart said floor, and today, the geopolitics delivered the catalyst. Markets dictate news. CPI drops tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, and here's what matters. That oil spike is not in the June print. June data captured $68 oil and 57,000 jobs. Tomorrow's number doesn't see any of this, so the question is whether the data comes in soft because the inputs were soft, and if it does, the hawkish FOMC narrative from last week deflates against weak data. The most important number of the cycle hits in about 17 hours. Michael Saylor filed a fresh 8K today. 0 Bitcoin sold, 0 Bitcoin bought, but he raised $467 million selling stocks instead. Cash reserve sits now at about $3 billion. He chose stock dilution over Bitcoin sales. Clarity Act Senate came back today, 18 working days until the August 7th hard deadline. No cloture motion, no floor time. Poly market at 39%. The dispute still blocking the vote. But the CBDC ban became law Friday. The housing bill took itself off the board. And the CFTC chairman said last week, we're so close. That path got 1 lane wider. Both roads are on that bill are real. And if a CPI comes in soft tomorrow and this market bounces, you're going to want to be positioned for the crowd before the crowd arrives, not after. This channel is called The Blue Collar Guide to Financial Freedom. I'm a farrier. I shoe horses for a living. I'm a blue collar guy trying to help the next blue collar guy get ahead in a world full of suits and ties that absolutely don't want you at the table. And when this market runs, most people are going to sell their crypto and hand 15 to 20% straight to the IRS. That's just the way it is. They did the work. They watched the charts. They waited through 2 months of red. And then the government pulls up a chair at their table. And let me tell you guys, there's a better way. I Trust Capital lets you hold Bitcoin and crypto inside of a taxed advantage retirement account. Just like your 401k, it's longer term. Every buy, every sell, the IRS doesn't get a cut. Your gains stay yours. It's no different than a Bitcoin ETF. BlackRock holds the Bitcoin. You hold the shares. iTrust isn't a decentralized exchange. It's a regulated IRA custodian. And you got to look at it this way. You got an old 401k sitting somewhere going nowhere while inflation eats it alive. Why don't you roll it into iTrust? Put it to work. That money's yours. It's just parked in the wrong place. And I started this myself. We're starting the groundwork to put some of my Bitcoin in a trust, something that my grandkids will have one day. And that's what this is really all about. It's what you build and who you leave it to. You'll find a link to that in my description. There's a $100 funding bonus when you fund the account. And if you've got questions, reach out to Ryan directly at iTrust. His email is in my description. Talk to your tax advisor about what's right for your situation. And there's 4 things driving this market right now. Oil's at $77.92. That's up 9% in a single day. And for the first time this week, every indicator on this chart agrees. The stochastic RSI is maxed. The RSI just reclaimed midpoint, and the money flow cipher is climbing hard out of deep negative territory with both lines positive and accelerating. No contradiction, no divergence. This move has real flow behind it. And if oil stays elevated and pushes above $80, the energy inflation argument rebuilds for the July CPI print in August. Even if tomorrow's number comes in soft, the war premium is building in the background. 10-year yields at 4.6%, 4th straight day above 4.52%. That ceiling is now support. The stochastic RSI is max, but the money flow cipher is still expanding. Flow is building into the move, not exhausting. CPI tomorrow decides whether this extends towards 4.892% and creates a headwind for risk on assets, or it pulls back. The dollar, the DXY at 101.28, highest close of this entire sequence, grinding right against the 1272 Fibonacci at 101.73. The RSI and the money flow both agree with price direction here. If the dollar breaks 101.73, that's a headwind for every risk asset. If it fails right there again, that's fuel for crypto. In Bitcoin dominance, the faucet 58.65% closed back below that 58.95% gate after testing it on Friday. Gate 1 held. The money flow cipher is rolling over from its peak, confirming the rejection wasn't a one candle wobble. Faucets stay low, stay open for now. Watch the daily close. And if any of this is confusing, I've been working on making this easier to understand. My partner and best friend, Coach Leisurefish, wrote a free beginner's field guide. It covers everything from what crypto actually is, how the blockchain works, exchanges, wallets, spot futures, leverage, liquidation, funding rates, and the risk rules every beginner needs to know before they place their first trade. It's plain English. There's no jargon, no finance degree required, and it's absolutely free. You'll find the link to in my description. The website's thecryptocowboy.io. Put your name and email in there, and it lands in your inbox. Just read it before you trade. Moving into smart money, let me show you what smart money's doing right now. The charts tell you where, this tells you who, and I've got something special to show you right after this. And I need to be honest with you. This is the most bearish smart money read of the entire week. The cumulative volume delta, which tracks whether buyers or sellers are in control, just printed its largest sell reading of the week. Strong sell on both time frames, full reversal from Thursday's buy signal. The sellers are in control right now. The crowd reloaded long 64% right before today's drop, and a week ago they de-risked down to 55%. They loaded back up and walked right into a sell-off, 7.18 million in long liquidations over the 24 hours against 72,000 in shorts. That's a 99-to-1 ratio. The longs are getting absolutely destroyed right now. Funding rates, Binance and OKC both maxed at 1, but Bybit is sitting at 0.24. When funding isn't uniform across the major exchanges, it tells you the positioning isn't as clean as the crowd thinks. 2 out of 3 are maxed, while the third is notably cooler. That divergence matters. Open interest at 6.68 billion. It's up nearly 3% in 24 hours. And here's what you need to understand. Open interest is building while price is falling. And in plain English, the new money is entering the market on a red day. That usually means fresh short positions are being opened, not just longs getting cleared. The bears aren't just winning, they're adding. Coinbase premium dropped to negative 81. That's the worst reading of the week. U.S. institutions are actively selling harder than any day we've tracked. Now here's where it gets interesting and where the contradiction shows up. Options max pain for the next 3 expiries. July 14th is 63,000. July 15th is 63,500. And July 16th, $64,000. All 3 sitting above current price at 62,000. And in plain English, the level where the market makers make the most money above is where we're trading right now. That means the options market benefit from price moving up into those expiries. The derivatives flow says sell. The option structure says the magnet is higher. Those 2 things are directly arguing with each other tonight. But here's the both roads read. ETF flows flip positive today at $90.4 million, and fear and greed improved to 27, even on a red day. The derivative side says sell, and the option structure says the magnet is higher. The sentiment side says that the panic is easing. 3 different data sets, 3 different stories. CPI tomorrow morning decides which one is right. And I built something for all y'all. Everything I just walked you through. CVD on 3 time frames, funding rates across Binance, OKX, and Bybit, long short positioning, open interest, Coinbase premium, ETF flows, liquidations, fear and greed, all of it. And there's a live whale flow column showing every major unknown to unknown transfer in real time. It's all in one place now, updating live. The same smart money read I use every single session. And here's what I'm most proud of. There's a bull case and a bear case written out on the screen at all times. Both roads right there, updated live, because I'd rather you learn to think than be told what to believe. Every single metric has an info button that explains what it means in plain English. You don't need a finance degree. You don't need to have traded a single day in your life. This was built for the guy in the feed store as much as it was for the full-time trader. And it's free for 30 days, no catch. You'll find the link at the top of my description. And once you're in, taps the app tab and open the live dashboard. That's it. CPI drops tomorrow morning at 8:30 Eastern. That dashboard is going to be the best seat in the house when that number hits. And let's go ahead and get into the charts. There's 3 time frames we cover. Each one tells a different part of the story. The weekly is the 30,000 foot view. Bitcoin at 62,000, full head and shoulders confirmed. Moving Measured move target 34,178. It's been on the chart since February. It's never removed. Bull invalidation is a weekly close above $87,000. The 50 simple moving average at 64,964. The 50 smooth moving average at 63,300. Price is back below both of them after briefly testing above last week. The weekly downtrend is not recovered. Those two moving averages are the first gate price has to reclaim on closed candles to change the conversation. The weekly retracement zone runs from 60,500 up to the moving average cluster. Above that, the weekly golden zone at 102,660 to 114,270. That's the bull cycle target far overhead. The stochastic RSI, low but declining, not on a clean bullish cross this time. Last week it was building, this week it rolled over. And the RSI sitting at 37 below midpoint, fresh hidden bear label right at this candle. The RSI has been the more reliable indicator on the weekly this entire week, and it's bearish tonight. The money flow cipher, both lines still positive, but rolling hard towards the zero line alongside red this week. Money flow is actually actively deteriorating, not paused, it's deteriorating. Hold above 60,500 on a weekly close and the structure survives. Reclaim 63,300, then the 64,964, and the bounce rebuilds towards 69,000. Then the weekly golden zone, lose 60,500 and 41,637 opens. Below that, 34,178, that target has never been removed. Moving into the daily chart, this is where the momentum story lives. Price at 62,129. Price just broke back below the daily 50 simple moving average. The daily 50 smooth moving average at 65,175 is overhead. The daily 786 Fibonacci at 64,900 is right in between. All three levels stacked in a tight cluster between 64,000 and 65,200. That resistance wall price has to climb through to change the daily structure. Below current price, the daily extension targets sit at 54,018 and 46,226. The week low at 57,775. Those are the bear road levels if this bounce fails entirely. The stochastic RSI at reset from maxed overbought down to 25. The round trip happened again. Maxed at 100 on July 8th, round trip to 61,824, rebuilt to 84, round tripped again. This daily cost stochastic RSI has been a fade signal at the top and a reset signal at the bottom all week. The RSI is at 46 below midpoint, lost the 50 level it had just reclaimed. Hidden bull label still active from earlier this week, but momentum couldn't hold above midpoint. That's a failed reclaim. Bearish until proven otherwise on a closed daily candle back above 50. In the money flow cipher, both lines are above zero but declining. The sell pressure hasn't overwhelmed yet, but the buy conviction is fading. No fresh dot in either direction. The cipher is cooling and watching, same as the rest of us. Hold at 60,500 and the retest of the daily moving average cluster at 64,000 to 65,200 stays on the table. Reclaim that zone. And the daily golden zone at 82,851 to 89,552 comes back into play. If you lose that 60,500 and 57,775 comes first, then 54,000, then 44,226. And before the 4-hour chart, Blowfin new users exclusive running right now through July 21st. Deposit $100, trade $1,000 in volume, you get $10 in futures bonus, all the way up to deposit $1,000, trade $10,000, you get $150. There's 5 tiers for first 100 users only, so don't sit on it. Hold 3 days to qualify. And CPI drops tomorrow morning. This is not the day to have an exchange. This is not the day to not have an exchange set up. The link is in my description. Both copy trades account live right there, futures and spot. And here's the 4-hour chart. This is where the trade lives, the trigger time frame. Bitcoin at 62,129, price sitting back below the 4-hour 50 smooth moving average at 65,520, and the 4-hour simple moving average at 62,850. Both above, acting as resistance right now. Price lost both of them on today's sell-off. The structure that was support on Friday flipped to resistance tonight. Above the moving averages, the 4-hour golden zone sits at 72,353 to 77,400. Below current price, the 4-hour zero extension at 57,700, the week low at 57,775, and the 4-hour extension targets at 54,000 and 46,200. The stochastic RSI, this is interesting. It's deeply oversold at 3, the lowest reading of the entire week on any time frame. The trigger time frame is maximally compressed. That doesn't mean it bounces tomorrow. It means the spring is loaded. CPI decides which direction it releases. The RSI at 43, it's below midpoint. Fresh hidden bear label at recent price. That's the pattern that has preceded continued downside on every 4-hour bounce this week. The label is arguing against the oversold stochastic RSI, same contradiction that showed up on the daily earlier this week. In the money flow cipher, declining hard, both knot lines negative and accelerating lower. The cipher is confirming the sell-off. No green dot, no sell exhaustion. The sellers aren't done yet. I'm flat. I got no active trades. CPI tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern. That rule doesn't bend. The trigger's 62,850 and the 4-hour 50 simple moving average close above it on a 4-hour candle after CPI, and the bounce begins. 64,963, then 65,175. Then the 4-hour golden zone at 72,353 to 77,400. If you lose, 60,507 on a closed 4-hour candle, and 57,775 comes first, then 54,000. The market will tell you which road it's taking. You just need to let it talk. And if you're new here and everything I just walked through felt like a different language, grab the free beginner's guide at thecryptocowboy.io. I'll catch you up. The link's in my description. And if you're not subscribed, hit it right now. CPI drops tomorrow morning at 8:30 Eastern. That video goes up the same day. You absolutely don't want to miss it. And we've got two roads, equal weight every time. Bitcoin at 62,000, the most bearish smart money read of the week. CBD strong sell, longs liquidated 99 to 1. Coinbase premium at negative 81. Open interest building on a red day. Fresh hidden bear labels on the weekly and 4-hour. Cipher deteriorating on every time frame. Oil rip 9%. Yields extending for the fourth straight day above 4.52%. But ETF flows flip positive at 90 million. Fear and greed improving even on a red day. Options max paying sitting above current price on all three expiries. The 4-hour stochastic RSI is at 3. It's maximally compressed, and CPI tomorrow captured $68 oil and $57,000 jobs. 57,000 jobs. Not tonight's oil, June's oil. Both roads absolutely live. CPI tomorrow decides, and here's the bull road. CPI comes in soft. Yields pull back below 4.52%, and the dollar fails at 101.73. The hawkish narrative deflates against weak data. Price reclaims 62,850 on a closed 4-hour candle. That's the trigger. Write this down. That 62,850 is your trigger. 64,963, 65,100, 69,000 is a weekly moving average cluster. 72,353 to 77,400. The 4-hour golden zone. 82,850 to 89,550. The daily golden zone. That's the summer rally map. And the bear road, you absolutely can't rule it out. CPI comes in hot. Yields extend towards 4.89%. Dollar breaks 101.73. Rate hike locks in. Oil stays above $77. The Iran war premium builds into the July print. Institutions keep selling, and you need to write this down. 60,500. 57,775 is the week low. 54,000. 42,226. 41,637. 34,178. That's a head and shoulders target. It has never been removed. Watch 62,850 on the 4-hour. Watch CPI tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern. Watch yields at 4.52%. We don't chase. We don't guess. We wait for the confirmation. The closed candle is the gate every single time. And we're going to close it out with our spiritual closer, just like we do every single video. Tonight's good. It's from John chapter 14, verse 7. I'm leaving you with a gift, peace of mind and heart. And the peace I give is a gift the world cannot give. So don't be a trouble or be afraid. Tomorrow morning at 8:30, a number hits that decides the direction of this entire market. Oil rip 9%, yields are extending, and the smart money data is the most bearish of the week. Iran is striking 5 countries, and the crowd is scared. But the chart is the chart. The levels are written down, both roads are on the board, and the closed candle will tell you which one to take. You don't have to guess tonight, you just have to wait. The peace the world gives depends on the number. The peace he gives, it absolutely doesn't. God gets the credit for this channel, every call, every chart, every time frame. I'm just the farrier that learned how to read Fibonacci fence posts. Wrapping it up right here, Chris Hare, the world champion crypto cowboy. I really appreciate you spending time with me, and we'll see you down the road.